It's on your shoes, your coat, and even on the space station. That satisfying ripping sound comes from one of nature's cleverest designs. But it took a Swiss engineer and his very furry dog to turn it into an invention we can all use. This is the story of Velcro. Our story starts in 1941. A Swiss engineer named Georges de Mestral went for a walk in the Alps with his dog. When they got home, he noticed that both his pants and his dog's fur were covered in burrs, the sticky little seeds from the burdock plant. As he painstakingly picked them off, he didn't just get annoyed. He got curious. Why were they sticking so firmly? Instead of throwing them away, he put one under his microscope. What he saw was amazing. The burr was covered in hundreds of tiny hooks. These hooks were catching on the loops of thread in his clothes and the loops in his dog's hair. A light bulb went off in his head. What if he could create a man-made fastener that worked the same way? One side with tiny stiff hooks, and the other with soft, pliable loops. He spent the next 10 years trying to make it work. It was difficult to create the tiny hooks, but he finally found that heat-treated nylon worked perfectly. He named his invention Velcro, a combination of the French words velours, which means velvet, and crochet, which means hook. First, people thought it was silly, but then NASA started using it in the 1960s to stop things from floating around in spacecraft, and it suddenly became the coolest fastener on Earth. Georges de Mestral's story is a masterclass in biomimicry, learning from nature to solve human problems. He paid attention to a tiny annoyance and saw a world of possibility. So, the next time you use that hook and loop fastener, remember the curious engineer and his furry dog. Here is your twisted quiz. Velcro was inspired by burrs sticking to fabric loops. But if you look at a brand new piece of Velcro, both the hook side and the loop side are made of the same material, nylon. How could the inventor create two completely different functions, hooks and loops, from the exact same starting material? Think about what you can do to a thread. Give me your best idea.